This is Kim Barnwell for week 3 of Communication 3000, Communication Theory. This week I'm going to talk about Uncertainty Reduction Theory by Charles Berger. According to Griffin 2006, Charles Berger's uncertainty reduction theory focuses on how human communication is used to gain knowledge and create understanding. As we meet new acquaintances, there are uncertainties that we have to contend with. Griffin 2006 states there are 3 prior conditions: anticipation of future interaction, we know we will see them again; incentive value, they have something we want; and deviance, they act in a weird way. Berger 1975 suggests we are similar to dogs when we meet others. Our primary goal is to understand the new acquaintance and make sense of them. Griffin 2006 says as dogs would sniff and circle one another, humans are no different. We're just a bit more subtle as we use symbols instead of smells to reach our conclusions. There are 2 types of uncertainty, and Griffin 2006 states that Berger feels the ability of persons to predict which alternative or alternatives are likely to occur next decreases, uncertainty increases. Basically, Berger feels that people need to understand and make sense of why people do things. Griffin 2006 states there are 2 kinds of uncertainty that you face when setting out on a first meeting with a person: behavioral and cognitive. Behavioral deals with certain protocols when meeting with a person: who picks the place, who should pay for the meal, is it appropriate to text or take a phone call while on the first meeting. Cognitive are more aimed at understanding who the other person is, such as what makes this person soar, what's important to them, what type of person is he or she, does this person believe in God. Griffin 2006 states Berger's theory addresses the cognitive uncertainty rather than the behavioral. There are 8 axioms of uncertainty reduction theory. Griffin 2006 states that axioms are traditionally regarded as self-evident truths that require no additional proof. The first axiom is verbal communication. As people talk and communicate more, the uncertainty about the next step or phase will be reduced and verbal communication will increase. Next is axiom 2, nonverbal warmth. As you get past the first few minutes of an initial interaction, the uncertainty will recreate and nonverbal affirmations will increase, such as eye contact, laughing, responsive body language, like a warm, friendly nod. Axiom 3 is information seeking. When first meeting a person, our uncertainty of them causes us to ask more questions to gain a better understanding of who they are. As our uncertainty decreases, our information seeking decreases. Therefore, I guess you could say the interrogation process would be over and you can move on to the next step. Axiom 4 is self-disclosure. I feel this is very similar to social penetration theory. The less we know a person, the less intimate details we are willing to reveal about ourselves. As we get to know them more, our uncertainty decreases and we feel comfortable enough with them to disclose more intimate details. Axiom 5 is reciprocity. This to me is also very similar to social penetration theory. The more I divulge, the more my new acquaintance will divulge the basic surface information to intimate information. It's a give and take process. Axiom 6 is similarity. If people are similar, it reduces the uncertainty. It can also go the other way. If a person is not similar to me, then it can increase my uncertainty of them. Axiom 7 is liking. The more I like someone, the less uncertain I am. The more I like someone, the more certain I am, and the more I dislike someone, the more uncertain I am. Axiom 8 is shared networks. According to Griffin 2006, Axiom 8 was not part of Berger's original theory, but his ideas triggered extensive research by other communication scholars who soon moved uncertainty reduction theory beyond the confines of 2 strangers meeting for the first time. People, friends, romantic partners, and family who share the same network of friends tend to communicate better and have better relationships. For example, if my husband and I work together, we would have the same shared network of professional and personal acquaintances. they would then have more in common with one another, and this would make our relationship stronger. Next are the theorems of uncertainty reduction theory. Griffin 2006 states Berger's combined axioms yield an inevitable conclusion when inserted in the well-known pattern of deductive logic. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. By doing this, there are 28 possible theorems. Basically, the theorems prove that it is important to reduce the uncertainty in human relations and interactions, and that they are all interrelated. Next is the strategies to cope with certain uncertainty. Griffin 2006 states 10 years after Berger introduced the uncertainty reduction theory, he switched his research to focus on the thought processes that people go through in order to produce the messages they speak. His findings suggested that most social interaction is goal-driven, and he labeled this a plan-based theory of strategic communication, because he was convinced that we continually construct cognitive plans to guide our social actions. He relates this to a hierarchy of goal-directed communication. When meeting with any person to speak with them, we have an end goal or result in mind. Our behaviors are all planned cognitive processes to achieve our goals. Griffin 2006 states Berger's strategies of coping with uncertainty begin with seeking information. There are 3 strategies to this. One can use a passive strategy, which is observing others from a distance, an active strategy, asking a third party for information, or an interactive strategy when talking face-to-face with the other person and asking specific questions. The interactive strategy is the quickest and most effective, but can sometimes be perceived by the other party as an interrogation. Next is choosing a plan complexity. Griffin 2006 states the complexity of a message plan is measured in 2 ways: the level of detail the plan includes and the number of contingency plans prepared in case the original one doesn't work. Next is hedging. Griffin 2006 says the possibility of plan failure suggests the wisdom of providing ways for both parties to save face when at least one of them has miscalculated. One way to deal with this is through humor. For instance, I might suggest to someone that they pick up the tab for our meal since they asked me to the meeting. But if the look on their face suggests they are offended or do not agree, I might say I was just kidding and laugh in order to save face. Finally, the hierarchy hypothesis. Griffin 2006 states Berger's hierarchy hypothesis asserts that when individuals are thwarted in their attempts to achieve goals, their first tendency is to alter lower level elements of their message. If someone doesn't understand what I say the first time, I might repeat myself, but louder the next time. Berger 1975 suggests this tactic doesn't typically work, yet it takes less mental effort than altering strategic features that are higher up in the action plan. Berger 1975 describes people as cognitive missers who would rather try for a quick fix than expend the effort to repair a faulty plan. I hope this describes Charles Berger's uncertainty reduction theory. Again, this is Kim Barnwell for week 3 of Communication 3000.